Welcome to Australian Kitefoil Racing. This is round 2 of the Australian National Kitefoil Series, and we're here in Perth, Australia for this kitefoil race. And I'm joined here with Tom Hegarty from Perth Kite Racing. And here we have the schedule for the year. There's 6 rounds in the National Kitefoil Series, and this is round number 2. Victoria has already been run with Zach Pullen taking the win, and now we're in Perth for the state titles. And the best 4 of 6 scores will count in this national series, with Townsville being next. Tom, tell us about the race area.
This is our beautiful Jervis Bay where we sail in a normally southwesterly, usually at a cranking sea breeze on the days in summer, getting up to mid-20 knots. Gives us flat water because we're protected by Woodman Point. It is a world-class foiling location.
So today we're doing windward-leeward course with 2 laps going up around port turn around the top mark and down through the gates either direction, and then second lap around the start buoy and through the finish gates. And here's our entry list today. What do you see there, Tom? Who are we looking at in this list?
Well, we've got our favourites in Perth that we keep seeing win, but then we've got some big names coming in from over east.
So right at the top there, we've got Scott and Hector, 2 of the fastest riders in Australia, followed by Perth's other top talent, Alty, Alex and Andrew Cooksey, all looking at those top 5 places and looking at going well today, as well as Jane and Bree as the fast female riders, and Julie as well. So here we are looking at the start. We've got everybody looking potentially towards the boat end here. Tom, what are we looking at?
Yeah, everyone coming on starboard, pretty tight fleet. First race, so I assume there's a few people going slightly conservative, seeing where they sit in the fleet.
And we've got a couple of people heading down to that pin end, looking like a couple of the fast guys looking to get away quickly from that end of the race. And we're just about ready to start, but we're going to be flicking back to some head cam footage here to have another look at this start line to see who's getting away well.
So we've got a building sea breeze here. It's started pretty light today, and we're going to see it pick up as racing goes on. So a lot of the fleets are actually on 15-metre kites at the moment.
Yeah, you can see there's a good mix of kites in there too. Plenty of Ozone R1s, a couple of Fly Surfer VMGs, and of course a couple of Flymax Boom 2s there as well. And you can see in this picture here, you've got Hector in that white helmet, one of the fastest guys here. He'll be one to watch. And then Bree Whitehead just leeward of him there. And looks like everyone's off to a fantastic start here.
Clear start line, no one breaching over the line. Everyone hanging left at Jervis Bay. You get a bit of a lift on the left-hand side. So you'll see a lot of people punching that left side and tacking late.
So you can see one of the young Tim's boys there getting away on that Halo in our Formula X division, so the more free race oriented kites. And here we're looking at a pretty good spread out of the field. So you can see some of those black R1s on the right. You've got Alty there, one of the fastest WA guys, and Cooksey, and Dr. Phil there on his black R1 as well. And Hector on a really good inside line there, looking in good position. So we've got a pretty good spread, but you can already see the cream coming to the top here with the fastest guys, and this is another view of that. You've got Bree in front there, and I think Oscar or Jake there on the leeward side, but all making good headway up towards the first tack. What else have we got here? We got Marvin up there on the white R1, I believe, and Ben Harper from Townsville as well in the fleet.
Got Ludo on the blue R1 directly in front of you there.
Ludo always up towards the front of that middle group and pushing at the back of that the top guys. So we've got someone tacking away there at the front, Scotty Whitehead.
The front.
And this whole fleet's going to look to go. But this is a packed fleet. There's 22 riders here, and this could be carnage at this first tack. There are a lot of people looking to go. Not quite far enough to be calling obstruction on the tack there. They're just going to have a look at the fleet and start cutting through. We've got one coming across here. I think that's Ben, and not able to cross the fleet and going back the other way. And here's another view from the ammunition jetty, looking back into the field. What do we see here, Tom?
Yeah, everyone pretty close in this midfield. You see that time and time again with these videos. It's a very close packed midfield.
In his foreground here, you've got Alex Landau, I think, hammering away on the fast end. And again, this is another view of the field starting to tack away. So there goes Scotty.
Scotty's gone. Lando's going to be tacking across soon.
Lando will be going. And then Hector is tacking away on the inside. Here you can see there's Cooksey down on the left there with the black R1. Alex Lando way over on the back.
That's with his F1 kite, the grey one.
The F1, yep. And then Hector in the bottom left here on the red Boom 2. Alty Frisbee on the black R1 V4, and Scotty Whitehead here on the VMG 2.
Here we go. So we've seen a tack across by Dr. Phil.
Tack. Oof. And that is a horrible collision there. Absolutely nasty.
You called it carnage at the first tack.
Yeah, we knew this was going to be a tight pack field, but yeah, obviously not normally 22 kites on the grid here. And that is a nasty one.
Taking Marvin out on the way down.
We can report everyone was okay, thankfully, after that collision, which was a bit of a nightmare.
A little bit of foil damage, but that can be fixed.
So the race continues on, and Hector managed to avoid that and get away and heading up the course there and chasing down...
That's Scotty. You can see the lead he's gained, isn't that amazing?
I think that's Alex. I think that's actually Alex. They both tacked away a little bit earlier, and I think Scotty's in the left of field here.
Right. Well done, Alex.
Yeah, Lando got away to a flying start here. I think that is, unless I'm mistaken. We'll see in a second.
Oh, that's Alex there.
Oh, no, there's Lando. You're right. Yeah, you're right, mate. It was. Yeah, so here's the rest of the fleet. What do we got here? So one of the Tim's boys coming through. And we've got Bree over there on the Sonic race.
Got Darren here on his 18 metre.
Doing not 18 metre. Wow, I'm on an 11 Diablo there in the middle of that picture. And yeah, so this is really the chase pack. Jane Taylor on the bottom right there on the Flymax boom. So Jane's in a fantastic position there. Will really be competing. So this is going to be really interesting coming into this top mark here. We've got a lot of competition in this second pack. So we've really got that first group forming up as expected. And this is really the hotly contested chase group here. So everyone looking to come up to the ley line at the top mark here. And this is a bit of onboard of that same group. So you can see in front there, Darren, Bree, Jane Taylor.
You've got the other half of the fleet coming in on starboard already on ley lines. You've got Ludo and the blue kite in the distance. I think I'm tucked in behind him on the orange kite.
Yep, there we go. So yeah, you can see already up on the ley line there's quite a few. So you can see people starting to pull away now. Talk us through this front group. What's going on there?
All right, we've got Scotty coming to the mark first. Looks like Lando's snuck in front of... Would that be Alty and Hector?
That's Alty, yep, because Cooksy's back in the water.
So we're going to
and
see
Phil.
A fast top mark rounding here.
Here we go. The front boys are absolutely flying downwind already. Look at them take off there.
Alex with great speed downwind over the weekend.
This footage here is courtesy of Ironbark Photos, who were filming for us from the ammo jetty. So we're going to get a really good shot of the downwind rounding power here. These guys are going to light up on this downwind run.
Scotty making that VMG work. Look at go.
Look at the lean on him, tightening those lines, hammering downwind. That is flying. And here we've got Alex Lando
and
Alty Frisbee. So very hotly contested. And look at Hector hammering around that top mark. That guy is super fast downwind.
He's gone deep after that top mark.
And look at the angle. Alty there just going super deep. And Hector going with him at really good pace. This is a great angle. Now here comes this chase group. Darren Marshall.
Well done.
And then Bree around next. And Jane Taylor.
Jane, Ludo, Oscar.
Ludo, Oscar. And who is that? Oh, that's Cooksy. Cooksy's done a catch-up from that collision earlier. And there's Tom. Good on you, mate.
Yep.
And that would be Logan there on the boom too. Logan's a young up-and-coming freestyle superstar who's switching to racing. There's a few of the guys coming across. And Lando's jibed and heading around. And speaking of freestyle superstars, there's Dan Anderson coming in. He is an absolute gun. Been at it a few months and flying already on his freestyle Formula X gear. Followed by Jake Timms on the Halo. And yours truly on the Diablo 5.
Nicely done.
So this is a really nice look at the mid-pack coming down the back straight here. As everybody throws it, there goes Bree. Fantastic jibe as usual. Really clinical on the execution of her manoeuvres. And you're going to get to see a few jibes here. Let's have a look at the form of these people coming through. And there goes Ludo. Solid performer as usual. Always at the front of that group. Is that Jake? Oscar?
We've got Dan here about to throw in a jibe by the looks. Doing extremely well in our Formula X, and that's our free ride gear division.
Yeah, free ride gear, look at that, there you go. Beating me up on my Olympic Diablo V5. Dan, super good on his jibes for such a new racer.
Nicely done, very smooth.
Really well done. Unfortunately, you get to see a bit of a wobbly one from me here, but getting it done anyway.
Pulling that leader.
There we go. On the 11 metre. Here we go. This is actually the same run downwind here, but we get a really nice view from the drone here. This is this chase pack. Let's have a look here. We got Darren out in front with Bree to windward, and Jane has come through behind them, but is to leeward and getting a really deep, fast angle on that boom V2 downwind.
Jane, great on the angle. Often blocked my jibing.
Yeah, getting very, very deep. And look behind her there is that's Andy Cooksey, one of the fastest riders in Perth. He's recovered from that crash and he is right on that group. And I think he's going to storm through and get right back to the front, which is amazing after that collision.
Throwing an early jibe in there.
Cooksey going early, looking at a tactical move there, getting a bit early as he comes into the bottom gates. He's going to be coming in on starboard, taking that early cut because he is going to go for the left, of course, I think, through that bottom gate. And Darren getting the ley line wrong, going way too deep. Must have got messed up on his jibe there, and he's let them all through. So here goes Jane Taylor and Bree on that top right of picture there. They are neck and neck. These are the two fastest females, and they are going hammer and tong at this race. This is a really interesting lineup of those two. And Cooksey coming in. So we're going to have some carnage into the bottom gates here. They're all compressing in. And Tom, that's you there coming in at the back.
Yeah, me trying to catch up.
Really on the pace there with Bree and Jane and Cooksey as well, who is one of the fastest guys around.
This wind at the moment is starting to pick up. We're getting up towards 20 knots at the moment, so with most of the fleet still on about 15 metres.
And we've just seen the fastest riders go through there too, and all rounding to go over to the left, of course. And Jane Taylor's gone down. She must have hit some weed or something and just had a big stack. So she is out of it. What a shame. They were racing so closely there. And there's Bree.
Bree's gone down.
Bree has crashed her jibe as well, and Cooksey has gone through. And we've got Logan there and Ludo. So they've allowed a few people to catch up, and Darren rounding through as well. So this group is really close and anything in it. But, of course, Cooksey has gone through as well. And here comes Tom right after Cooksey and those guys at the front of that middle group. So this is a really interesting battle here of these races, and the next few we're covering. This middle fleet is really hotly contested. There's a really fast crew in Perth, and the guys that have come are all absolute weapons as well, including the young blokes.
Let's be honest, it's really the real racing is that mid fleet.
That's it. This is the fun racing. And Cooksey's unfortunately carving through, destroying them. And there's a few people recovering there. I think that's Marvin getting his kite back up, and I think we've got one still in the water. Good to see those guys are okay after that nasty little collision at the start.
All right, so
here we are back at the front, Tom. What's happening here?
Looks like we've got Scotty in the lead. Hector closely catching up.
Oh, this is a little detour here, just checking out Boris. Boris is one of our up-and-coming Perth riders on a V2 13 metre there. Having a bit of a look at his action. The drone pilot going for a little detour here, just having a bit of a squeeze around before we get back to that front fleet. Boris looking good there on the 13 metre. Doing very well. Only been racing for a short period and doing really well.
Come a long way very quickly, Boris. Well done.
And here we have back at the bottom some of the lower order riders coming through. Starting to catch up with that front group. And pretty soon we're going to be seeing some others coming through. Is that you there on the
That is.
orange kite? There we go. Heading upwind.
We've got Julie coming down here on a tube kite.
Yes, Julie Pateral, doing her first big regatta, still on a tube kite there and looking to switch to full kite soon, but Julie is going to be representing Mauritius. She's part of their race team there, so Hector's sister as well. So here we have Logan and Tom heading upwind, and we have the top group coming down around that top mark. So this is about to get interesting. This is the last lap. And you can see there, they are flying downwind in the race to the finish. This is the podium you can see unfolding here now.
I think they're just about to go around the top mark. So you've got Scotty
Correct.
rounding right now, closely followed by Hector and then Alti. Alex slightly behind the top three.
And that is a nice little gap for Scott. He is absolutely blistering upwind. He's definitely opened up a good, clear advantage there. But Hector is a weapon downwind. Let's see how this unfolds. Scotty's driving early. That's an interesting choice, because that is way short of the ley line. Maybe Scotty thought he was going for the gate there. But
remember, with this course, we have to do a reach finish.
Oh, and look at Hector hammering through there. He's almost touched him on the jibe. So Hector very deep and very fast. So Scotty jibing early means he's going to have to double jibe at the bottom here to get around that breach marker. So this race is going to be absolutely touch and go for the finish here.
Look at this downwind riding.
Hector is lit up. He literally can almost go directly downwind at full pace with this rig. Hector on a Chubanger 3, handmade, beautiful Italian IKA registered Olympic foil, and the Flymax Boom V2 there. I think he's on a 15 metre.
That is, yes.
And some of the riders have switched down to 11s, but Hector hanging on to that big rig and getting it done downwind there. Thankfully, somebody doing right of way there. Good work. But here we are coming into the bottom. We're going to round this mark here. Hector's jibing on his final manoeuvre to cut into the reach buoy, which was the pin end of the start line. And this is for the win. And it looks like Hector's in clear water here with Alti right on his tail.
You got to remember Scotty might be coming
Where's
in on
Scotty?
starboard.
Where is Scotty coming in? He had to double jibe. That's going to put him back a little bit. And it looks like there's clear water. Where is Scotty? He's got to be coming in soon.
There's the pin end of the start line.
And that is the final reach mark. Round this one and a flat out burn to the end. And Hector has got this. And there comes Scotty there. So he paid for that mistake jibing early. But otherwise, he would have been right there for this victory. So Hector is going to take his first bullet of the event.
Well done, Hector.
Boom. Well done, Hector. Get the win.
Alti with the number 2 place.
And Alti right behind. Always fast, always consistent.
Mr.
Good
Consistency.
Good, clean race. And Scott right behind literally came back to almost a second in that. So there's the podium. 1, 2, 3.
Alex coming in with the number 4 here. Well done.
Yeah, Lando right behind as well. The Diablo V5. And yeah, that group, you're going to see a lot of that group over this next 10 races we're covering. Those guys are going to be fighting it out there. That's a really fast front group. As well as obviously Cooksey, who did very well to come back from that early collision. And, there are a lot of other guys contesting at the top. You're going to see a few interesting podiums through the regatta. But those guys at the front, they are duking it out. And all on the world's best gear, right? So Lando on the Levitas R5. Cooksey's on the Airrush Gold, the brand new Olympic registered Airrush foil.
Looking very sharp and very fast.
This is Cooksey finishing now. He's really quick on that foil, and he's on his last season kites to R1 V3s and still is right up on that front pace. So he's definitely one to watch in the following races.
Cooksey did a great job coming back from that crash at the first tack.
So I think that's our first 5. So we've got a bit more coverage of the sort of first 10 or so here.
Darren coming through.
Darren Marshall, that's a fantastic result on his VMG2, obviously holding down the big guns there.
18 metres, holding down all of it.
And they say the VMG2s can be rigged big. They really can hold on to a lot in their top end. There's Bree right on. So that's a great result for Darren coming in front of Bree. Obviously, Bree's a fantastic world-class sort of top 10 in the world female rider. So that's a great result. To be anywhere near her is really well done.
Winning the bullet for the females for this race.
And Ludo and Logan. Look at this race finish. Who's going to snatch this one? Go, Logan. You little rocket. Who got that?
I believe it was Logan, that one.
Well done. That boom too, fast on that reach race. I wonder if Ludo knew that he's getting sniped there by Logan, getting picked off at the end.
I heard a little bit of gossip that Ludo didn't think anyone was there, and he heard a little splash behind him mid-jibe, looked over his shoulder, and Logan was coming in full pace.
Sneak attack from the young fella.
Here's our winner of the Formula X division.
First Formula X kite on the F1 Halo, that's Oscar Timms, who is an absolute weapon. Look forward to more from Oscar. If he's that fast on that freeride kite, when that kid gets on a Diablo 5, he is going to be a weapon.
Scary fast, Oscar on that gear. Scary fast.
And here comes Ben Harper from Townsville, sponsored by Geodrill and KFA on the Mako 4, coming through with yours truly, Derek Voller, on the Diablo 5. I think that was my best result for the weekend, actually. There we go.
Good race, Derek.
Not bad for me. A bit of a newish rider. And here's young Jake Timms, not far behind his brother, doing really well. And yeah, Jake smoked me for the whole rest of the weekend. So that was the first and only time I'll beat one of the Timms boys, I think. And Dan there, Formula X coming through. And that was Jane Taylor coming in at the end too, recovering from her crash. What a race.
That was great. Beautiful intro to the series.
Sensational. Yeah, what a great event. So we've got 9 more races. Here's the results. You can see there. Hector with the bullet, Alti in second, Scotty Whitehead in third. These aren't in the right order, but you get the idea and you can see the numbers there. Great contest, Tom. What else have we got to look forward to with these guys? What are we going to see?
You're going to see this same tight racing again and again all through the weekend. It's just brilliant to watch.
Yeah, there's some good contests. A couple of guys down the bottom there that could do better, had a struggle in that first race. Some of the local guys, Ant and Dr. Phil, etc., and Ben and Julie getting some good race experience there. So and Marvin coming along but involved in that crash too. So going to see some more from these guys, but look forward to some great racing at the top here, particularly Scott and Hector. These guys are going to duke it out. Hector takes the first knockout there with the one bullet. And this is going to be interesting racing the next 3 days of this wonderful regatta. Look at this location. Absolutely sensational.
Just world class. Beautiful beaches, beautiful flat water, sea breezes. Can't beat it.
And this is all brought to you by Flymax Australia and Performance Kites and Jing Kites Australia. So thank you for the commentary, Tom.
No worries.
And we look forward to doing the next races.